When most people think about taking care of themselves, they picture expensive spa days, weekend trips, or buying something that makes them feel good for an hour or two. Somewhere along the way, we turn self-care into something we buy instead of something we do. We treat it like a reward for surviving stress instead of a way to keep that stress from piling up in the first place. But there's another way to think about this. In Japan, self-care isn't about big moments or special occasions. It lives inside ordinary days, in small, careful actions. These practices don't ask for money or much time. They ask for your attention, done again and again. The Japanese approach is about building balance between body and mind through simple habits. And they work because they touch something basic about how we're built to live. They create rhythm. They build awareness. They pull you back into the present moment. In this video, you'll discover 7 Japanese self-care habits that actually work, and why they work. Things you can start doing today. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you reach for? For most people, it's the phone. The very first thing entering your mind is notifications, messages, the news, other people's thoughts. And just like that, you've set the tone for a whole day of reacting instead of choosing. In Japan, many people start the day by opening the window, all the way open, letting fresh air pour into the room. They stand there a moment, breathing in the outside, feeling the temperature, listening to the morning. It takes less than a minute, and it does something real. Opening that window is how you cross from sleep into waking life. It brings the outside world in, and it tells your body the day has begun. The fresh air clears out the stale air you've been breathing all night. The sounds and smells outside reach in and pull you up out of sleep. What makes it powerful is how simple it is, and how you can do it every single day. It costs almost nothing, yet it creates a clear moment of choosing. That small act of opening the window opens something in you too. You become present, awake, instead of drifting through the morning in that half-asleep fog so many people carry around with them. The modern world asks you to live at a speed that just feels wrong. You eat fast, move fast, think fast, always rushing toward the next thing. And that constant speed builds a quiet tension in the background, one you stop noticing even though your body never stops feeling it. Matcha, the powdered green tea from the Japanese tea ceremony, offers something different. Making matcha is not fast. You measure the powder, heat the water to just the right temperature, and whisk it a certain way until it turns smooth and frothy. The process wants your attention. You can't rush it without ruining it. And that's the whole point. Making matcha isn't really about making tea. It's about carving out a pause in your day, a moment where you have to slow down and pay attention to what your hands are doing. The ceremony itself becomes the self-care, the careful measuring, the whisking motion, the soft sound of bamboo against the bowl. All of it pulls you out of your head and into the moment. When you finally drink it, you're not just getting caffeine. You're finishing something that forced you to slow down, to be present, to do one thing at a time with your full attention. That's rare now, and we need it. The tea ceremony teaches you that slowing down isn't wasted time. It's the opposite. It's time you take back from the endless rush. Most of us live cut off from our own senses. We eat without tasting. We walk without feeling our feet touch the ground. We breathe without ever noticing the breath. We're so busy in the past and the future that we miss the only moment that's actually real. And this disconnection follows us into how we handle our health. So many of us want to build better habits, lose a little weight, stay consistent with what we eat. But the road to those goals usually piles on more stress. Tracking your food by hand, doing the math on every macro. It's tedious. It pulls you away from the meal right in front of you and turns eating into a math problem. That's exactly why staying consistent feels impossible for most people, and why they eventually fall off track. Today's sponsor, Calorie AI, fixes this. It's the shortcut that makes staying consistent easy, taking away the mental friction so you can actually stick with your goals. Calorie AI makes tracking as simple as taking a picture. Just snap a photo and it instantly works out your calories and macros. In my experience, it's very accurate. But if you want it perfect, you can pull from their food database with thousands of options. My favorite part, though, is the barcode scanner. A late-night snack. Anything packaged. Anything with a label. Just scan the barcode and it's logged in a second. No friction at all. Hit the link in the description or the pinned comment. Download Calorie AI and use the code CODEN for 3 days free. Listening to scent is a Japanese practice that sounds strange at first. How do you listen to a smell? But the phrase is pointing at something important. It's not just noticing that something smells nice. It's giving your full attention to the experience of the scent itself. In traditional Japanese culture, ko, the appreciation of incense, is treated as an art. People gather to take in different scents with complete attention, the way others might sit and listen to music. They don't talk while the incense burns. They simply sit and pay attention to what they're feeling. This works because it trains awareness. When you give all of your attention to a single sense, you pull yourself out of the mental noise and into direct experience. The scent becomes something to hold on to, like the breath in meditation. Your mind will wander, and when it does, the scent brings you back. You don't need special incense for this. You can give that same full attention to coffee brewing, rain on warm concrete, fresh air through an open window. The scent doesn't matter. What matters is the quality of attention you bring to it. This simple thing trains you to be present. And being present is the foundation of all self-care. Most of us spend our days indoors, under fake light, breathing recycled air. We built spaces to shield us from nature, and in doing it, we shut ourselves off from something we actually need. Your body wasn't designed for windowless rooms and endless electric light. You need sun. Komorebi is a Japanese word for sunlight filtering through the leaves of trees. The fact that the word even exists tells you something. A culture that noticed these moments and found them worth naming. Sitting in komorebi, or just in plain sunlight, is a kind of self-care that costs nothing and takes almost no time. Stand by a window in the morning. Sit outside for 10 minutes at lunch. Feel the warmth on your skin. Notice the quality of the light. Sunlight sets your body's internal clock. It tells you when to be alert and when to wind down for rest. It shapes your mood in ways we're still trying to understand. You don't need to understand the science to feel the benefit. You just need to step into the light. Komorebi is really about making contact with the natural world, even in the smallest way. It's a reminder that you're not just a brain in a box. You're a living thing that needs certain things from the world around you to work right. Sunlight is one of them, and modern life makes it far too easy to go days without enough. We collect things without even realizing it. Objects pile up in drawers, on shelves, in corners. Each one was something you once thought you needed, and now it just takes up space. And that physical clutter creates mental clutter. The more you own, the more of your attention it quietly drains. Seiri is the Japanese practice of letting go, and Seiton is about organizing what stays. Together, they form a way of living with less. This isn't about extreme minimalism or throwing everything out. It's about being honest with yourself about what you actually use and need, and releasing what no longer helps you. When you pick up an object and ask whether you really need it, you're practicing a kind of self-awareness. You're looking straight at the gap between what you think you need and what you truly use. And most of the time, that gap is wide. We hold on to things for emotional reasons, or because we might need them someday, or because letting go feels like waste. But keeping what you never use is waste too. It wastes space, attention, and energy. Every object in your space is something your eyes take in and your mind processes, even when you don't notice. Fewer things means less of that quiet weight. And this practice never really ends. It's not something you do once and finish. It's a regular check of what you have and whether it still belongs in your life. It clears physical space, and more importantly, it clears mental space. You slowly learn to tell the difference between what matters and what doesn't. Water touches your skin dozens of times a day. But how often do you actually notice it? Washing your hands can be something you do while your mind is somewhere else entirely. Or it can become a moment of full presence. In Japan, real attention is paid to how water is used and felt. Even something as ordinary as washing your hands, or the more careful ritual of a hand bath, can be treated as worthy of full attention. You notice the temperature of the water. You notice the soap slipping between your fingers. You notice your hands coming clean. It turns an everyday act into a practice of awareness. The goal isn't cleaner hands. The goal is training yourself to be fully here during ordinary moments. Because most of your life is made of ordinary moments. And if you're not present for them, you're not present for most of your life. At the end of the day, we often feel tired in a very particular way. It's mental tiredness from making decisions, solving problems, processing information all day long. Physical tiredness from real work is actually satisfying. But mental tiredness with no physical tiredness leaves you drained and restless at the same time. Cleaning in the morning might sound like a strange form of self-care, but it speaks directly to this. It gives your body something simple to do while your mind finally rests. Sweeping a floor, wiping down a counter, it asks just enough of your attention to keep you present, without adding any stress. In Japanese culture, cleaning isn't seen as a chore to rush through or avoid. It's a practice. Students clean their own schools. Monks clean their temples. It's not about saving money on cleaners. It's about growing a certain kind of attention and a certain respect for your space. When you clean in the morning, you're preparing the space for the day, and you're preparing yourself too. Those simple, repeated motions are calming in a way that thinking never is. Cleaning also gives you a direct line between action and result. You see right away what your effort produced. At a desk job, you can spend hours and never see a clear result. Cleaning is different. The floor is swept or it isn't. The surface is clean or it isn't. And that clarity feels good. These 7 practices all share something. They're all simple. They all ask you to be present. And they all work with the body, not just the mind. Modern self-care tends to focus on mental tricks for managing stress. Think positive, practice gratitude, shift your perspective. Those have value, but they miss something basic. You're not just a mind. You're a body that needs movement, sunlight, rest, and the use of your senses. You're a living thing that works best with routine, rhythm, and a real connection to the physical world. Thank you for watching.